Astronaut, astronaut. Short, A says a. Egg, egg. Short, E says e. A says e. Integrity, integrity. I. Short, I says I. Y says I. Octopus, octopus. Short, O says ah. A. W says ah. A says ah. A. U says ah. O-U-G-H says ah. A-U-G-H says ah. Umbrella, umbrella. Short, U says O-U says O says Acorn, acorn. A. Long A says A. A blank E says A. I says A. Y says A. Y says A. A says A. I says A. Aigh says A. Eigh says A. Eat, eat. E. Long E says E. E blank E says E. E says E. A says E. Final Y says E. I says E. I says E. Y says E. Ice cream, ice cream. I. Long I says I blank E says Igh says I. Final Y says I says I. Ocean, ocean. O. Long O says O. O blank E says O. A says O. W says O. U says O. E says O. Ough says O. W says O. Unicorn, unicorn. U. Long U says U. U blank E says U. E says U. W says U. Turtle, turtle. T. T says T. Ed says T. BT says T. What does BT say? Good. BT says T. Graduation, graduation. Shun. TION says shun. CION says shun. SION says shun. So today in word study, what you will need is a blank piece of paper. This can be a piece of scrap paper or the back side of another piece. And you'll need a pencil and an eraser. And as we keep going today, feel free to pause the video as much as you need so that you have time to write down your words and try each challenge. So today in word study, we are going to be focusing on the long I vowel sound. Now you are going to set up a sort chart with these 3 long I spelling patterns. So at the top of your paper, go ahead and draw a line across, 2 lines down, and you can write IGH says I. Then in the middle, you can write I blank E says I. And for the last column, you can write the final Y, which also says I. Great. All right, friends, I'm going to say a word and I want you to build that word on your paper and decide where it should go in our sort columns. Now, if you build the word with one long I spelling pattern and it doesn't look right, you can always cross it out or erase it and build it with a different long I spelling pattern. So your first word is shy. Build the word shy. So in the word shy, I hear long I at the end of the word. So I'm going to build shy on my paper just like this. Shh. And final Y says I. Great job, friends. If you rocked it, give yourself a big check mark. Your next word to build is fright. Build the word fright. This was a tricky one. In fright, I hear fur. FR says fur. Fright. I think we build fright with IGH says I. Fright. And go ahead and underline that long vowel spelling pattern once you add it to your chart. Great. If you rock that one, say way to go, me. And I'm going to add those 2 words to my sort chart. So you can make sure your chart looks just like mine. All right, up next, the word is sight. Build the word sight, like eyesight. So we build the word sight just like this. With IGH says I. Sight. If you build sight with IGH, give yourself a smiley face. And up next, build the word dry. Dry. Maybe you notice that the long I sound comes at the end of the word dry. DR says der, I. So we build dry with a final Y. Check mark if you rocked it. So I'm going to add sight and dry to my list. All right, your next word is delight. Delight. So I would build the word delight just like this. D-O-light. We build delight with IGH says I. I'm going to add it to that column. Nice work, friends. Give yourself a big check if you rocked it. The next word is combine. Build the word combine. All right, this is a longer word. Combine. We build combine with I blank E. So this sneaky E taps on I and makes I say its own name. So that's our first word in the I blank E list. You can give yourself 2 check marks if you rocked that one. The next word is slightly. Build the word slightly. So let's stretch out the sounds we hear in this word. Slightly. 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 So we should put this in the IGH column. Nice work. And the last word we'll build for right now, build the word invite. Build the word invite. All right, you're a careful first grade writer if you know that we build the word invite with I blank E. So you can go ahead and circle the I blank E on your paper. I'll add it to the I blank E list. Nice work, friends. So now it's time for nonsense words. So even though these words are made up and really silly sounding, you can still use what you know about the long vowel patterns and the different chunks in the word to help you blend the word. This is your first nonsense word. Write it on your paper. Circle the chunks that you see and try to blend it to yourself. So in this word, I would circle DR says der, and I know IGH says I. So let's blend it. Der, I. Drite. Say silly, drite. Here's your next word. Go ahead and write it on your paper. This is a long one. And circle the chunks that you see and try to blend it. So in this word, you should have circled KN says N, EE says E, and CION says shun, just like the graduation wall card. So we blend this word need, needchen, needchen. Say silly, needchen. And here's your next word. Circle those chunks and try to blend it. So in this word, I would circle GL says goal, EE says E, And BT says t, like on our turtle card. Gleet, gleet. Say silly gleet. Write down your next nonsense word and circle those chunks. Try to blend it to yourself. All right, friends, you should have circled TR says tur, and IGH says I. Tur, I. Trite. Say silly trite. And here is your last nonsense word. Write it down and circle those chunks. Go ahead and blend it. So in this word, I would circle TION says shun. Mop, shun. Moption. Say silly moption. And up next is a syllable challenge. So tell your grown-up or remind your brain, what's the first grade way to figure out how many syllables are in a word? Good, if you remembered that we look at the vowel letters, A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y, to figure out how many syllables there are, then you did a really great job. So go ahead and write down your first word. Now we know that word is shy, but even if we couldn't read that word, we can look for the vowel letters or the vowel teams to figure out how many syllables. So I'm going to circle final Y because in shy, this makes a vowel sound. So go ahead and write on your paper how many syllables are in this word if there's one vowel sound. So in the word shy, there's only one syllable because there's one vowel sound. Here's your next word. Write it down and circle the vowel teams or vowel letters. So you should circle the vowel E and the vowel I. So how many syllables are in this word if there's two vowel sounds? Good, there's two syllables.